What is up, everybody? Toaverse here today, and we're going to talk about the Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. It has just been announced that he has passed away at the age of 68, and this guy has been very monumental in the shaping of a lot of people's young adolescent lives. I definitely grew up with Dragon Ball as probably the most popular work as a kid, and it's sad to see that this guy has passed away, sadly. Like I said before, I grew up with Dragon Ball as a kid. Probably like in my teenage years, I got into Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, this is probably one of the most influential animes of all time. Even past the anime spectrum, like just media overall, this has been probably the most influential shows I've ever seen. Just no, because there's so many different people. Like you see people from different backgrounds. I know this is very big in the black community, the Latino community, white community, Asian community. People from all races and backgrounds rejoiced over watching this guy's story. So definitely something that couldn't have been done. That's definitely something that hasn't been done much with storytelling. He has definitely achieved that. So I think he left this earth with a great legacy. So I'm gonna talk about what people are saying, what the news is about this. Talk about my history with this as well, the good and the bad of Dragon Ball Z. Because I'm not gonna just talk about the good. There's some bad that has to be addressed as well with this show that people don't want to gloss over. But there is stuff we're gonna talk about that as well. But yeah. So originally, I mean, he's like I said, the most famous stuff he's done is from Dragon Ball Z. That's like the most popular thing that everybody worldwide knows about. Like I said, when I was growing up as a kid, especially like in anime, that was not too acceptable in my younger years. Like I think Dragon Ball Z is probably the only exception. You probably wouldn't get teased over or bullied if you like Dragon Ball Z, because who didn't like Dragon Ball Z as a kid? Like most people, especially like I said in the black community, they probably watched Dragon Ball Z. That's like, I don't know, that's just weird how that anime is like the one that stuck to a lot of people, but that is definitely the anime that stood out. So, but that's why I always say the people who like anime nowadays, you got it easy because celebrities even like endorsing anime. You see, like I was even seeing like Megan Thee Stallion, a big rapper, Michael B. Jordan, a big actor. They're embracing anime, is making it super mainstream now. So I was even seeing like a NFL like Super Bowl, and they were doing like a manga style thing based off Jujutsu Kaisen. So anime is very mainstream now. That definitely wasn't the case when I was younger. So it's cool to see that now. But he definitely paved the way. Like his that show he made, he definitely got a lot of people loving this show, loving anime in general. Like this is probably like people's like first entry point into anime by watching Dragon Ball Z. So, and honestly, I don't know if this show was even made for kids. Like, cause there's definitely some graphic stuff in Dragon Ball Z, but it's like, hey, that was probably one of the greatest shows I've seen as a kid. So we're gonna take the good and the bad with the show. So I don't know if you have been like this clip right here. This is like this is internet history for a while. There's one kid who was a real huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. He pretended to go Super Saiyan and went viral. So I'm gonna play a clip of it, but I'm not gonna make the sound. Play the sound because this dude was yelling at the top of his lungs. Oh man, this was like peak internet when this video released. It was like even though it was cringy, everybody had the same moment when we saw Goku turn Super Saiyan. It was like the most amazing thing ever when you seen that character like finally reach his limits. Even though I believe right here he's mimicking the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, but even though that's like one of the legendary scenes in all anime when he turns Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3, that's iconic points of anime. So this one show alone has got so many feats. It's insane. So this is like a monumental show. Definitely my favorite anime series of all time. I always think about which one I like more, Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. And I was like, I honestly it'd go either way. I like both those series, but Dragon Ball Z influenced a lot of stuff. So it was sad to see when I was seeing people giving their RIPs and how much they love the show, that there were people hating on the show as they was hating on this guy passing away. It was like it's kind of sad that people are giving their grievances or saying their farewells to this guy's memory, and people just want to crap on it. So this guy states that Toriyama did not create an event or revolutionize anime or manga. So I'm assuming this was an older person because, like I said in my younger days, I was a very active into anime. Dragon Ball Z was definitely one of the starting points. So, and that was like the time period when Yu-Gi-Oh was very popular too. I was definitely in my teenage years playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And there was a card shop I used to go to, card shop / manga shop as well. And the guy there, he hated Dragon Ball Z. And I don't know why. I can't give a theory why he hated Dragon Ball Z so much, but he hated people who loved Dragon Ball Z. Mainly because Dragon Ball Z was the most popular or mainstream version of anime. And it was like, I guess he was like a gatekeeper saying, hey, if you like Dragon Ball Z, you're not a real anime fan because Dragon Ball Z is the most popular anime. But I don't know. It was very strange. But I think that sentiment, the people who just hate Dragon Ball Z are like older people who was into anime before anime was widely accepted with Dragon Ball Z. And they have like a stigma. They have like a stigma because it's like, hey, like once again, the stigma for anime was like, hey, this is some weird Japanese cartoons. Why are you into it? But Dragon Ball Z was the exception, which kind of made it a little bit mainstream, but definitely not like mainstream. Like anime is real mainstream now, but back then, the only acceptable anime was probably like Dragon Ball Z, honestly, to watch. And people would be like, hey, you're normal. If you watch those other like super like non-shonen or non-action ones, people definitely thought you were a weirdo back then. So maybe that's the reason that guy hated it. But I always remember that guy from my Yu-Gi-Oh days with the manga shop. He hated Dragon Ball Z with a passion. It was just crazy. It was an old white guy who just hated Dragon Ball Z. So, but he says, stop giving that man credit for everything. My favorite series would have existed with or without him. Right? Rip R.I.P to him, but stop hyping that MFR up. Thank you. Togashi is the actual GOAT. God bless. Now, I don't know who Togashi is, the anime, what manga did he do, but I'm probably not. Okay, he's creative Hunter x Hunter. Okay, I actually do like his stuff because he made Hunter x Hunter and I'm drawing a blank. Yu Yu Hakusho, another one of my favorites. So I do like his stuff, but why do you have to trash Toriyama to give praise to Togashi? Sure, Togashi isn't. He's still loved. He's loved in the anime community, but he's not Toriyama. Toriyama made it. He did some crazy feats with Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is, like I said, one of the most well-known animes of all time. So this comment has rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, I don't like why people trashing this guy's stuff because their favorite anime or favorite manga person didn't get the praise they deserve. So I think this is corny in my opinion. So another person did the same thing. It's like in this guy's memory, you want to just say this foul stuff. It's just like really, everybody got their voice in it. I guess so. He says he created one of the worst fan bases ever. Created one of the worst power systems and transformations ever. The hair color changes, lol. He also taught many authors how to write fiction with no story at all. R.I.P. He doesn't even say his name right. So he was like showing you like, hey, you really don't respect this guy. I was like, really? So I want to address each one of these points he made. Created one of the worst fan bases ever. I don't see Dragon Ball Z fans being toxic. Like, people love the show. I don't see them being toxic. Like, there's a lot of worse fan bases out there. Or if we just, like, there's people who literally harass actors and actresses over their roles in different TV shows and movies. And the one that comes to mind I'm thinking of right now is the Star Wars fan base. I'm not saying they're the worst fan base, but when you got people like that in those certain fan bases who hate on people, hate on actors like that, or literally harass them, I don't see anybody from Dragon Ball Z community doing that, or even anime in general, but, have at it. Created one of the worst power systems. To an extent, I can kind of see where he's saying this, because throughout the history of Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, there's been a steady, like, power system scaling that you can at least, like, go with. But until, like, Dragon Ball Super, there's, like, it kind of went out the window, because certain characters that would establish their power level, like we know Master Roshi was very weak, and in equivalent to these people going like Super Saiyan and being they can blow up planets and stuff. And Roshi was just a regular human, but then Dragon Ball Super kind of erased all that. It kind of flubbed up the power levels, the power system, so it kind of ruined that. So I can see a grievance there. The hair color changes, I kind of agree with that too. Like I don't like how they did the hair color thing in Super. As like we had the whole iconic transformations in Dragon Ball Z through even GT with the Super Saiyan 4 transformation through the color changes in this one is just I wasn't feeling that, but once again, he's still one of the greatest of all time. So, and it's just very distasteful to even not even spell his name right and put the laughing emoji. Like this guy's a piece of garbage. Like, you can say he's just mocking his work, but nah, you're generally a piece of garbage, a garbage human at this point. You see people grieving on those guys passing, and you make a joke like that, like you're a piece of garbage. So another one, this guy's saying, "Can I report this POS?" And he's referring to. So let's get the starting point here. We hear this. We hear the news of Akira Toriyama passing away. This guy says, "Is this real?" And then the guy who is a piece of crap says, "I hope so." So he hopes the guy passed away. I was like, really? And you can see his avatar is of Sanji. That's a One Piece character. And it's like it just doesn't. I don't. This is like the whole consort thing, but like a lot worse because you're literally like celebrating over a guy passing because your favorite anime doesn't get as much shine. Even though One Piece is very popular, it's not as popular as Dragon Ball Z, obviously, because Dragon Ball Z is like literally it's the top anime, the most popular animes of all time. So One Piece is still very popular, but it's not like Dragon Ball Z. It's like a little bit lower than Dragon Ball Z, but it's still popular. So it just rubs me the wrong way. And these people were just doing this. Like, they're just so corny. Like, what if this dude was your father or brother or something like that, and you see people just tarnishing his legacy? Because literally, the anime that he made was a lot more popular than the one that you like. It's just corny, in my opinion. So like I said, we're going to talk about not only the good, but the bad as well with Dragon Ball Z. The Mr. Popo character. Now, like I said, I have watched Dragon Ball Z since I was a teenager until adulthood. And this character has always been there since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Well, since Dragon Ball, he's been introduced. And he looks like a, I guess it was the racist character of black people. The Sambo character. He looks like that. And up until this time period, up until today, I thought this was like a character. I thought this was that Sambo representation. And it's kind of weird because I'm like, why would he have like this character and this is a Japanese-based anime? But apparently, to Westerners, we don't know this because we only think the world revolves around us. But apparently, this is based off of let me see. This right here. He's based on the Hindu deity Mahakala. So I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right. This is my first time ever hearing about this right here. So that's what he's based off of. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this is an Asian-based deity, and once again, the people who made Dragon Ball Z are Asian of Asian descent. So it would make sense. That would make more sense than being a racist character of a character of African Americans. So it would make sense that it's that instead. But you know, it's rubbed a lot of people wrong. It's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with this character being introduced because that was one of the go-to insults for black people or real dark-skinned people that you like Mr. Popo of Dragon Ball Z. So I have definitely heard anti-black sentiments with this character, and they eventually had to change the character to make him purple because of the negative stereotypes from America. So they eventually made him purple. But yeah, if it's based off this, I can understand it because I don't see like. Obviously, we don't know if he's a racist or not. But I don't think I never got the racist vibe from the show in general because other than this character, they did have black characters in the show. Very few, but they did have black characters. Like I remember, like in the Dragon Ball arc, they had a black character under the Red Ribbon Army. I'm forgetting his name. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he had a character, like he wasn't like a complete like stereotype. He was just like a normal character, had his own personality and quirks and all, but he wasn't like a complete like, I didn't find that as disrespectful. So there was one character like a boxer who spoke in complete gibberish. I don't know if he was like supposed to be like a joke character or whatever, but that kind of I'm not gonna lie, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I don't think he had any intention of like being malicious with these characters towards black people though. So I don't know. But on a good note, I'm gonna say that hey, they did put positive black representation in like the later movie, like the Dragon Ball superhero movie. I think the last released movie. They had an actual black lady in that one. They had a black lady with an afro and everything. She didn't have any negative stereotypes. So, and like people change too. So I mean, like once again, I don't think it was based off the sample character. I think it was legit based off this. That's what people are saying. So hey, it is what it is. So, and then it does just say like for the most part, most people thought it was based off this. That is just telling the show is just that amazing that people just ignored this. Most black people just ignored this and said, hey, we love this show so much. We love the character of Goku. We love the character of Vegeta, of Gohan, of the whole cast. We're still gonna rock with the show regardless. So you got that as well. So and yeah, I think there's a cool way to recap this as well too. All these different animes that people like now, these different, especially like the shonen brigade of anime, all were influenced by Dragon Ball Z or Goku in one shape or form. So definitely like the camp leader and these new animes is like the kids around the campfire pretty much. You got Deku, My Hero Academia, you got Ichigo from Bleach, One Piece as well, Seven Deadly Sins. These newer animes, Naruto, Demon Slayer, definitely inspired by Dragon Ball Z. And I believe one of the mangakas, I don't know if it was the creator of One Piece or creator of Naruto, of this dude's passing, they said, hey, I don't want to butcher it, but they gave their props. They gave their props to this. They gave their props to him. I was like, hey, they know, hey, this dude was very influential to make it manga in general mainstream, anime in general mainstream to the public. People want to say Pokemon did it. Sure, to an extent, because Pokemon was mainly aimed for like kids. Like I don't like once again, like once you get past like the age of like a kid into like teenage years or adulthood, most people are gonna drop Pokemon, that the actual cartoon show, because you see no character development, you see no growth with the characters. But while Dragon Ball Z had a whole range of audiences, whether it be kids, teenagers, adults, men, women, different backgrounds. So Dragon Ball Z was probably the most influential anime of all time. So yeah, so I wish this guy would got his flowers while he was still living. I think he kind of did. I think he did realize how impactful his anime was to most people across the earth. So yeah, so R.I.P. like what these guys are saying, he definitely made he made amazing legacy. I can't stress that enough. He did some amazing stuff in his lifetime. So, and now I guess it's up to these new guys now to see what new stuff what new anime is going to take the ring now for him, being up to the same par as Dragon Ball Z was to a lot of people. So, yeah. I'm just getting sad seeing this, but yeah, he definitely made a big impact on a lot of people that you probably didn't even realize. Like once again, you in Japan, like you gotta think about it. The guys in Japan making these mangas, animes, and stuff like this. Ain't no way you thought that hey, this thing is gonna have an impact on so many different people. They see hey, these characters can triumph and get these different obstacles and these different outcomes, and different people can see themselves in Goku or in Vegeta, or in these different characters. They can say, hey, I can apply what this character's doing in this show and apply it to my real life, or make me a better person from just being inspired by what this guy's put in animated form. So major props. Like once again, these people who wrote this negative stuff, these people are complete a-holes. They need to be reported. They are bad people. Like, don't be like these people. I was like, just because your favorite anime or whatever doesn't get as much props as the creator who made Dragon Ball Z, don't be an a-hole about it. Like, it's just so immature. It's just disgusting. Give this dude his flowers and just move on. It's just like, you got that old saying goes, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, pretty much. So I'm gonna include it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z or a fan of this guy's works, because he has a lot of properties that's outside of Dragon Ball Z that's not talked about as much. But I think once again, Dragon Ball Z is the most famous one out of all of it. So definitely want to know your experiences with this Dragon Ball Z show or Dragon Ball or his other stuff in general. Leave a like this video. As always, thanks for watching and peace.